There's a couple issues here. I don't know if you know this. There's a couple issues going on with the Toronto Blue Jays. The American League East is a tough division. You got Baltimore, who's on a tear. I think they're 4 games up on Boston, 5 games up on Toronto for third, and Toronto is having a couple of issues. One of them would be an injured Jose Bautista. We'll get to some of the rumors surrounding him in a second as well. But Marcus Stroman has been absolutely awful, and he's trying to put it together. Can't seem to. Once again, yesterday, a little bit better, but not much. They lose 5-2, 4 earned runs, 4 walks, a few strikeouts, but still, I believe, and George has the stats. I think he's got the second worst ERA since May 17th. I think he's got the worst whip since May 17th, and I believe he's also got the worst average against since May 17th. So what is it that you're hearing, or what's going on with Marcus Stroman, and what are the options with Marcus Stroman?
Well, here's what I think is happening right now. I think the fastball has just not been effective, and I think everything starts from there. The movement on the fastball has not been there, and I think there were times certainly last year when he was getting a lot of mishit balls and even swings and misses at a decent rate on that fastball, and that's not happening now. I mean, the players are just not. They are not at all respecting the fastball right now. And so they're very comfortable in there, and they're able to tee off on the off-speed stuff because they're not afraid of being beat by either the movement or the velocity on the fastball. And that's something that, guys, is hard to reclaim in the middle of a season. I mean, usually your velocity is not going to all of a sudden spike right back up on its own in the middle of the year. I think that mechanically maybe there's something that has to be worked on. And that is difficult to work on in the major league. So I really think if things continue on this pace, I do think being sent to the minor leagues becomes a viable option because you've got to do something to fix Marcus Stroman. He's far too good and far too young to be pitching like this right now. And I think that John Gibbons stayed positive. His comments after the game yesterday, he said he believes this past start was a step in the right direction, that there were a lot of positive signs to take. And I'm glad that John Gibbons is saying that because he's Marcus Stroman's manager and has to project that calm. But if things continue on this course, guys, you have to look at the big picture and say Marcus Stroman can be great, not just good, he can be great. And he is far too talented to be struggling like this. And at some point in time, you have to sort of cut your losses and probably get him to the minor leagues, get him out of the pressure, let him work on some things. There is no shame in doing that, by the way. Max Scherzer did it, won a Cy Young. Roy Halladay did it, won a Cy Young. Cliff Lee did it, won a Cy Young. I mean, there's a lot of great pitchers that have gone down in the minor leagues to get things fixed out and then have come back and dominated. So I think that might be where Stroman has to go if things do not turn around in the next couple of weeks, especially because of the fact that Hutchinson has pitched well in the minor leagues and appears to be a very viable option in the near term if Stroman has to go down.
But at what point, you say in the next couple of weeks, you get Cleveland, I think his next start's going to be against Cleveland, and then I believe he's got Kansas City, and you're Cleveland's a house on fire. Kansas City's still a wonderful hitting team still, and they'll nickel and dime you, and not good for the confidence of a pitcher in any capacity. But what point do these games and these starts become so critical that they can't afford to have him figure it out here? Is that not sooner than later? You think it's going to be 2 weeks?
Well, it's I would say the next couple starts, and so it's whether it's 2 starts, 2 weeks. That it'd probably be the difference between 10 days, 14 days, something like that. But of course, the All-Star game is coming up. But I do think, Dean, that you mentioned those 2 teams, and they're both good hitting ball clubs. Yes, the Indians are hot right now, but if you are having to worry about sort of the Indians and the Royals, and again, the Indians are at the top of the league right now, or close to it, because they're pitching more than anything else. But if you're worried about those 2 teams, your chances of negotiating the American League East in the second half are probably not great. I mean, this is the American League East we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're kind of figuring out, well, where's the safe spot? And I got to make sure I sort of negotiate the rotation and make sure that Stroman can pitch against teams that aren't swinging it great right now, you're going to have a tough time. I mean, this is not the division to be doing that. So if you cannot have success against the Indians and the Royals, I mean, chances are you probably cannot have success when you got to go pitch at Yankee Stadium and Camden Yards against the Orioles, who've been so good. So I think that he's had a lot of tests and a lot of time to have an adjustment. if John Gibbons is being genuine and saying that he really feels that yesterday's start was a step in the right direction, I respect that. But we've got to see continued progress in the next couple outings. Because if we don't, then it's probably time to send him down to Buffalo.